CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable, Nick Qualia, Marv is on, Mike Molyneux. We've got two names out there now that the Patriots could potentially go after. Quarterback Alex Smith apparently will be leaving, or he'll be getting booted out of Washington. The Washington football team will be moving on from Alex Smith after 6 starts, a 501 record, 8 interceptions, 6 touchdowns, and a QBR of 34.8. And then tight end, pretty well-known tight end, solid tight end, Kyle Rudolph out of Minnesota now. So, guys, that's the easy question right there. Should the Patriots be taking legit shots to get Alex Smith and or Kyle Rudolph this offseason? Mike, let's start with you. What do you think?
So with Kyle Rudolph, this is a guy who, I've heard the Patriots have had interest in before. Obviously he wasn't able to work out. But here's an opportunity now, him being a free agent. Can the Patriots make a run and get Kyle Rudolph? Now, having Kyle Rudolph would be great. Obviously, he's probably a little past his prime. He's not one of the younger tight ends in the league.
He's 31.
But he's a guy who obviously he's an upgrade from the other tight ends that are on the roster. He's a veteran in this league. So if you can add him to the team, it's a boost. Again, the pieces around him and the quarterback throwing him the ball also need to be pretty solid. But a veteran guy who's been in the system for a while, it'd be great to have him if the Patriots can make that happen. Again, he's a huge upgrade at the tight end position from what the Patriots currently have. Now, when it comes to Alex Smith, great comeback story. It's unbelievable. Truly nice to hear. Crazy leg injury, all the surgeries, the rehab, everything he had to do to get back to being able to play quarterback. It's a great story. And obviously, he got some opportunities with the Washington football team last year. And he played decent. I mean, Washington wasn't a powerhouse team or anything like that. But here's my thing with Alex Smith. And this is just me personally. 36 years old. He has that leg injury. Can he still play? I guess he can still play. Washington gave him a chance. But I'm personally afraid of his well-being, afraid for his well-being. I'm afraid for Alex Smith's well-being. Every game he got a chance to play quarterback and he dropped back in the pocket, you're just like, if this guy gets hit and it's just the wrong twist or the wrong something, because you heard such crazy things about that leg injury that you're just worried every time you step back. And it's one thing to worry about that. He's not on the New England Patriots. Now you want him to come to New England and watch him play every Sunday or whenever and have that worry even more that he could possibly one wrong. It's just very nerve-wracking for me to think of him playing quarterback, and especially if he's playing quarterback for the Patriots. I just don't – I don't want to say I don't trust his leg because, again, he's proven and shown that he can play still, but he's an older guy, and the leg injury just gives me a lot of pause and a lot of worry. And I don't necessarily want it to be the Patriots' problem and the Patriots' worry, if he were to come to this team. So Kyle Rudolph, by all means, take a run at him, see if you can bring him on for sure. But Alex Smith, as much as I want a huge QB battle to take place with a young quarterback and Jared Stidham if he's still there, and if they bring in a better quarterback, I'm all for it. But Alex Smith is the one guy I might skip over on that list of veteran quarterbacks, if we're being honest.
If you bring in Alex Smith, you better pick a quarterback in the first round. That's all that I would want him here for, is because he's 36. He's not somebody who's going to be looking for like a starting role for years to come. Probably doesn't even expect the starting role if he gets on a team this season. So he would be a guy that I might bring in to be a mentor for a young quarterback. Maybe, but that's it. That's it. Marv, what do you think?
If you see my face right now, all you need to know about Alex Smith. Once again, let's reiterate it. An incredible comeback. An amazing story. I saw the E60. I was shocked. Almost brought me to tears. Didn't even know it was life-threatening like that. Thank God he's able to walk. Thank God he's able to play football. Awesome. I don't want Alex Smith nowhere near this football team. He's taking a step back. It is what it is. Alex Smith's not the same player no more. He's not that good. If you have Cam Newton on this team and available, who Why not just stick with Cam Newton, who's just as good as a mentor, can still be a great locker room guy on the team, and you can still draft someone young? Why bring in Alex Smith to this team where I don't see where he's going to benefit you on the football field? On the football field, he does not do anything for you. I'm sorry, I like Alex Smith, but he's not someone who's going to turn this season around even as a bridge quarterback. I'd rather a guy like Mariota that we brought in up on the show. I'd bring back Cam Newton over Alex Smith. I'd have Teddy Bridgewater over all of these players. I think Alex Smith's on the bottom of my list when it comes to him. And if we want to bring him as a backup quarterback, maybe I guess he can help you in a couple of games in as a backup. But I don't think that's the resources that you need to look into right now when there's a lot of other holes that this team needs. I'm sorry, I'm not in on Alex Smith. Wish him the best. If he wants to continue playing football, I'm sure a team will pick him up. I hope it's not the New England Patriots. On to Kyle Rudolph. This Kyle Rudolph situation is going to be very similar if the Patriots pick him up. It will be very similar to the Dwayne Allen situation. Kyle Rudolph is not the Kyle Rudolph of old. This is a guy who I think caught less than 30 passes, 300 yards, and 1 touchdown last year. I mean, he's another person who's battled through injuries a lot. And we've seen what happens when tight ends get certain injuries. They take a step back. And that's what Kyle Rudolph is. One thing about Kyle Rudolph is he's versatile. He blocks and he can go out there and catch a few passes. Belichick loves those type of tight ends. If you bring him in, I will only accept it if he is not your TE1. He'd be a perfect tight end too, a guy that you can rely on to block and maybe catch a couple third downs. But he's not the same Kyle Rudolph of old. We can't bring him in thinking that he could be our tight end 1 and that will improve this offense. It really won't. Kyle Rudolph won't improve this offense if he's the tight end 1. So I'm not super ecstatic about it, but I can see where it helps if you bring him in and we lower the expectations of who Kyle Rudolph is now and bring him in as a tight end 2.
Yeah, I think he'd be a very solid tight end 2. And I kind of disagree where if he came in as the tight end 1, I think he would improve it a little bit, but not much. Not much at all. You definitely need to get somebody. I'll take Kyle. I've got stipulations with both these guys, both Alex Smith and Kyle Rudolph. I'll take Kyle Rudolph if you make a charge and you swing and miss on Hunter Henry. Then I'll take Kyle Rudolph. He's a second option, fine. And you still got these other 2 guys, Keen and Asiasi, that were supposed to be these great tight ends. This is what I mean about the draft. Every year, we talk these people up.
Patriots have a lot of tight ends. Not only those 2 rookies, Lacoste, Izzo, all of these guys are there.
Yeah, it's just mediocrity all around. That's what it is. That's what it is. So if you should get a guy in, I want them to make a big charge out of Hunter Henry, towards Hunter Henry. But if you swing and miss, go get Kyle Rudolph. He's better than what you got right now. He is. Hopefully. So, and then Alex Smith, like I said in the middle there. Alex Smith, I would take him as a mentor, but it maybe just as a bridge piece, because it's the same thing for next season. I don't expect too much out of this team. But you're right. Then why not just bring back Cam Newton? It's almost the same thing.
Cam Newton today is a better quarterback than Alex Smith.
And on top of the fact, Cam Newton, again, over these quarterbacks, you could debate their skill set and whatnot. One thing Cam Newton has up on these quarterbacks is that he has a year in the system.
Like I was saying, Cam took a lot of heat last season. I think that he was struggling. I think he does deserve a good amount of heat, but he also had nobody to throw to. So if you brought him back next season, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Like it wouldn't, especially as a mentor. Everybody talks up his locker room. How great of a locker room guy he is. So if you brought him back as somebody who could even mentor your first round draft pick this season, whether it be Trey Lance or Mac Jones, one of the 2, that would be great. That would be ideal. So that's it. CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable, Nick Qualia, Mike Molyneux, and Marv Zahn. Guys, we will be back next week for another set of episodes. Don't know what we're going to talk about. We got a lot of draft talk as we approach this year's NFL draft, and the Patriots have a lot of holes that they got to fill. Again, Nick Qualia, Marv Zahn, Mike Molyneux. Guys, we will be back next week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.